Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. It is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2019. I missed all of you, and it looks like a lot of you did not expect me to miss a Markets A Look Ahead segment. I did announce this on Friday, and I got bombarded. Greg, where's your report? Where's your Markets A Look Ahead? I did take off this weekend. It's a very rare occasion, so don't expect that to happen too much. I have promised all of you I will keep you on top of this market, and I do to the best of my ability. I just needed this weekend off. 3-day weekend, but guess what? It's time to get back to work, and we have a lot to talk about. Let's start off with this. As I am doing this video blog, stocks are under pressure. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 370 points. It was down over 400 points earlier. Now, I want to back up a little bit so we can gain a perspective on what's happening. So stock futures have been down the last 2 days, although yesterday the U.S. markets were closed. Now, prior to the market open, a couple of things happened that we really need to understand. We heard from the president 2 tweets, again, prior to the market open. One of them should raise your eyebrows a little bit. He said specifically that China talks are going well. Meanwhile, there are no talks. As a matter of fact, there are no talks even scheduled. I think September was a tentative date, but that's kind of off the table. So you have to understand, this tweet from the president this morning was another example of a 100% falsehood, and it's provable. And these 2 tweets prior to the market open were designed to, again, boost up stock futures. It didn't work. And then as the market opened, stocks were under pressure. The president tweeted again, calling for lowering the federal funds rate, mass debt expansion. Again, I got snapshots of these, and I posted it on Twitter. I posted these on Facebook, in my chat room, on my website, traderschoice.net. Please go look at the bond market chart. Your eyeballs will freaking explode. You want to see some hairy action in the bond market? Go look at that. There is a link in the description of this video. The third tweet from the president with regard to lowering rates had a little effect on the market. Stocks started to bounce, and then we get this. People, the entire manufacturing sector has fallen deeper into contraction, and U.S. factory orders are in steep decline. So if we look beyond the markets, what does this mean? Layoffs. Layoffs are coming. If this trend continues, and it looks like there is no end in sight here, do you believe, logically, that you're not going to see layoffs here? We already have the, farmers being bailed out. Are we going to start bailing out the entire manufacturing sector? Are you going to start bailing this out? I believe you will be. Again, it's a no-brainer in my view. So be prepared for more bailouts here, more debt on your back. So again, let's back up a little bit here. Stocks are under pressure here. Let me check this in real time while I got you here. All right, Dow's about down the same, but down about 362. Little bounce off the lows, but this is ugly. And I don't think any amount of tweet here is going to stop reality from setting in. And I'll tell you something that bothered me a lot. When the president said this morning in his tweet prior to the market opening that talks are going well again, meanwhile, there are no talks. Talks are not scheduled. Talks are not going on right now. This is so blatant. It's such a blatant lie, okay? I can't even get the words out here, that, I don't know, it boggles the mind a little bit. The fixation on the stock market going up is disturbing. And, again, I understand where he's coming from, but I don't think the lies can be justified. This was such a lie, and it will get coverage on the mainstream channels. There's no doubt about it. So you have to understand what happened this weekend is profound. We were unable to get a truce with China. As you all know, it's common knowledge. China rejected a truce. hence why stocks are selling off right now. I believe you heard the words from the president prior to the weekend, and I think the market was more or less thinking we were going to get a truce. A truce wouldn't, again, remember how people were beating me up? Greg, a truce would be a win for the president. No, it's not. It's not a win. So would this be a loss? For those of you that were telling me that a truce would be a win for the president, will you admit here then, let's see if you'll admit it, that the fact that we could not even get a truce is a loss for the president? I'll read the comments. Tell me where you stand on that, because I got punished for that. Oh, Greg, you don't know what you're talking about. If the president gets a truce, this is a win. I didn't see it that way. Most of you did not see it that way. Look, the bottom line is, what's the bottom line? The bottom line is our economy is in free fall. There's nothing even keeping this thing going except the illusion that things are good, because and our president's calling for more mass debt expansion on an unprecedented scale. But meanwhile, has one of you heard a single word out of not just the president's mouth? How about Larry Kudlow? How about Navarro trying to explain to us how this is going to help the middle class? You can't make this up. Now, understand what else is going on here. I know I'm talking a lot, but this is important. So tariffs went into effect against China. China's tariffs against us also went into effect, and the president is again saying we're taking in billions. How come, or why is it? Let me ask you straight out. Why is the president not explaining that we here in the United States, because he's saying we're taking in billions from China, which we're not. You know that. But does that mean that we're paying China too? Who's writing the check on either side? It's not true. The tariffs are being paid on both sides by the importers and exporters and being passed on to you. You understand that? There's so much going on here. It's incredible. Now let's move forward. Precious metals, especially silver, are taking off. Cryptocurrencies are taking off. People, I've been explaining to you, look for dollar alternatives. I cannot stress this enough to you. They're going to inflate. The president will get his rate cuts, and mass debt expansion, and dollar intervention. His words. Dollar intervention is the same as dollar devaluation. He won't say it to you. Imagine if the president of the United States were said straight out, we have to devalue the dollar. How would that help the middle class having to reach deeper in their pocket to pay for everything? So they spin it. It's dollar intervention. Listen for these things. Because again, you'll get the truth if you just pay attention. Most people, this will go right over their heads. They won't get it. Oh, dollar intervention. They get confused. Does that mean dollar devaluation? It's coming. Negative rates are coming here. There's no way to stop. Again, they can do what they want to. And anything they will do. Things we can't even dream about to keep this propped up right now. But look, with the entire manufacturing sector deeper in contraction, factory orders falling off of a cliff. What does it mean? This is a large part of people's livelihoods. So, and you can expect a ripple effect through the entire economy. So, understand this. If we don't get a deal with China soon, we're gonna start to suffer here on a grand scale. People are going to suffer on a grand scale, but you're not supposed to know that. You're supposed to hear that China is suffering, but you're not supposed to hear that we're paying China tariffs, even though we're not. They're paying us tariffs, like the president said again this morning, even though that's not happening. The trade deficit with China is unfreaking believable. $180 billion trade deficit. They have a trade surplus with us, so they're actually on the winning end of the trade war. Should make sense to you. If it doesn't, and this is going to hurt your feelings, before you attack me, do your own research. I guarantee you're going to say, hold on a minute. Greg's actually right. I am correct. Look, everything I say here is verifiable. And if I am wrong, call me out. It happened recently. You all know that. I stood up for the president. You called me out on it, and you were right. I corrected that. And I'll try to give credit where credit's due here. But something is, this morning, again, terrible for the president to lie like that. There are no talks. Meanwhile, he's saying talks are going well. Again, in an attempt to push up the stock market. Let's have another live look here. All right, still about the same. Dow down about 360. All right, let's see where this goes, people, by the end of the day. I will keep you all on top of this, I promise. Anyway, for my lines out here, major opportunity this morning to get short. I shredded this market on SPY puts. One trade so far. That trade made enough money for me to be happy for the day. But we'll see. I might do another one or two. Don't get greedy here. I won't even get greedy. And you know what I'm going to do? With a percentage of my profit, I'm going to pay it forward like I always do. And that's what I want you to do. This guy loves you. Please share this video. Get it out there. See you later.